Well, as I was thinking about which proverb I wanted to teach on this morning or this week, last week, I knew it had to be one that was going to really help me, one that I struggled with the principle in it, so it wasn't hard to find one. But the way I want to start today is with a confession, because I feel like that's the best way to get some of these things started. I know it's not normal for our church services here to start with somebody confessing something, their struggles, but I'm just going to go for it. It's good to be vulnerable and all that, and we can become family. But this is something that I've actually struggled with my whole life, so I'm just going to go out there and say it. I'm short. Yeah, but I'm very short, significantly shorter than the average male height, right? And I knew it. I've known it my whole life because I've been short my whole life. But really when I was in high school is when it kind of became very obvious of how short I was, because I have a little baby brother who's 3 years younger than me. And when he became a freshman, I was a senior, and something happened to him. I think it's a Latin term, medical term, something that's called a growth spurt. You may have heard of it. I'm not sure. It happened to him. It didn't happen to me. And you're still laughing. So it didn't happen to me, and this is actually a picture from us last year at his wedding. It's my little baby brother. Yeah. And short people, you know what I'm talking about when I say that sometimes you forget just how short you are. Like you could be talking to people in the lobby out there with your friends, hanging out with your family, and you don't realize how short you are. So what you do is you go back through some more pictures of your brother's wedding, and you find one like this. You're laughing. Again, you're laughing at me. Okay. In this picture, you'll notice that my little baby brother to my left in the picture is having a conversation with one of my good friends, Nick, over my head. They're literally talking over my head. I can hear what they're saying. I can't see where it's coming from. And then I'm having a conversation, or trying to, with the student ministry pastor at South Toledo, Seth, right there, and he's looking down, like at a very harsh angle, like this. Hey, buddy, I can't hear you. Like that's what's happening because I'm short. And I would be lying to you if I said that I've never been jealous of my little baby brother's height, because I have been. He can reach things on shelves that I can't even see. This is my life with him. But you're all laughing at me. It's all funny, make fun of Andy for being short. But you guys all struggle with jealousy too, because all of us do. We all struggle with jealousy. You could be driving your car down the road, and some guy or girl pulls up next to you, and you look at that car, and you're going, that is a very nice car. That car doesn't make the same noises that mine does. That car has all the paint. Why are all the wheels matching? Like all that stuff. I wish I had that car. Or maybe you're looking at your neighbor's grass, and you're like, is that made of Legos? That is straight, it's perfect, it's perfectly green. I want that grass. Or maybe a friend of yours makes more money than you do, and you're like, if I had her paycheck, life would be a lot better. Or, and this is weird, but it's true, you're looking at somebody else's kids, and you're going, they're very well behaved. What happened to my kids? Right? We all struggle with jealousy, and that's what leads us to our verse for today. It's Proverbs 14:30, where Solomon says this: a peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Jealousy is like cancer in the bones. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Jealousy is like cancer in the bones. Now, what I want to do is focus on the second half of that verse real quick, where he says jealousy is like cancer in the bones. The word jealousy probably better translates from the original language to something like envy. It's like a passionate, zealous desire for something, to the point where you look at that thing and somebody else who has that thing, you wish they just didn't have it because it would make things easier for you. That's what we're talking about, a passionate, zealous desire for something. Then the second part is that Solomon, the author of this, compares jealousy to cancer, and that it rots your bones. It's cancer in the bones. So it's something that really, really significantly harms you. Jealousy or envy can do that. But not only that, what we also know about cancer is that anybody that has cancer, or if you know somebody that has cancer, or you've had a debilitating disease like this, you know that it never just affects you, right? It always affects the people around you, the people that you're in relationship with, whether it's your family, your friends, your coworkers, people that you know. It always affects other people. So Solomon is saying that jealousy not only affects you significantly, but it also has adverse effects on your relationships. And maybe you're wondering, like I was when I read this, how does it really affect my relationships if I struggle with jealousy of, things or whatever? Well, I'll use an example. It's kind of an exaggeration, but it'll be fun, and we'll just go with it. Ladies, let's say you're out on a date with your significant other. It could be your boyfriend, your husband, whatever, and you're out and you ask him, like, how was your day? And he says, it was good, I met a girl. And then you're like, okay, what about the girl? He's like, well, she was great. She's so smart. She's funny. She's fun to be around. Like, she's really good looking. And then you're looking at him like, okay, this better be a joke with a very good punchline, or I'm going to punch you in the face, right? And he looks at you, and he just keeps going, and you're waiting for the punchline. And here's the punchline. He looks at you, and he says, you know what? I just wish that you were more like her. Ooh, yeah, gasps. Ooh, yeah. Now, okay, guys, I see some smirks, some of the guys, and you're laughing. But imagine if your wife or your significant other or just a girl you like looked at you and said, you know what? I wish you were more like him. No gasp this time. Yeah, okay. I know that if my wife looked at me and said that, I would be wrecked. Like, it would destroy me. I would be reduced to not like a short person, but a small child because of how it would make me feel. Now, hopefully, we would never say that to somebody, right? That would never be an actual thing we say, like, I wish you were more like him. But think about it this way. If you're constantly always talking about the things you don't have and how you wish you had those things, and life would be so much better if you could make this amount of money or your car didn't do this, don't you think that eventually the people in your life are going to start to ask that question? That they're going to start to say to themselves, am I enough for him? Am I enough for her? Why is she always talking about how her life could be better if she just could get? Why is he always thinking about the stuff he doesn't have? You see, jealousy is a problem, and it does, and it can affect our relationships. And so this leads to the big point for today, the one thing you got to get. If you get this one thing down, I would write it down for sure, because I've practiced it, it can significantly improve your relationships. Like in a day, it works. It's incredible. And here's what it is. It's this. Being grateful makes others more grateful for you. Being grateful makes others more grateful for you. And in that statement, you see gratitude is a cycle. Gratitude is a cycle. And this is the antidote, I believe, to jealousy. Because we see in the first part of the verse that he says, a peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. And he's not talking about a physical body. He's talking about your whole person, your whole spirit, your whole being, and then your relationships. And so we know that if we want to get to that peaceful heart place, we have to express gratitude. And being grateful makes others more grateful for you. It's a cycle. So when you tell somebody, or somebody says to you, I love you, what do you want to say? You want to say back, I love you too, unless it's like a new relationship and you're weirded out by it. But if you know somebody and they say, I love you, you're going to say, I love you too. Because if you say, okay, then there's a problem. I put this into practice. Being grateful makes others more grateful for you. For the past few weeks, as I've been researching this passage and really trying to live it out with my daughter, there's a picture of her. Her name is Ruby. She's 3 years old. She is the cutest little girl in the entire world. If you disagree, you're wrong. But anyways, so we were eating lunch the other day, and she's just her and I at the table, and she finishes her lunch, and she says, Daddy, may I be excused? That's exactly how she said it. And I looked at her, I was like, sure, buddy, yeah, go ahead. And so she takes her plate, and she shuffles over to the sink like this, and she reaches up, she's very short, and she throws it, and she's also 3, though, so she throws it in the sink, then she walks back to the table, and she does one of these numbers. Shh, shh, shh. She's wiping her crumbs off the table. Now, they're getting all over the chair and on the ground, and I had to pick them up later, but that's not the point. She was trying to clean up her space, and so I looked at her, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be grateful about this. So I looked at her, I said, buddy, thank you so much for being so polite. Thank you so much for cleaning up your space. That makes Daddy very happy. I'm so thankful to be your daddy. And she got this big smile, and she ran off to her playroom and destroyed the place. But again, not the point of the story. The point is that she cleaned up after herself. So the next day, kid you not, I get done mowing the lawn, and I come inside, and she's waiting for me, and as I open the door, she yells, Daddy, Daddy! So, of course, as a parent, I'm going, where's your mom? What happened? But instead, she goes, you mowed the lawn, Daddy. Oh, my, thank you so much. You're the best daddy ever. Like, she got it, right? She's 3 years old, and she got it instantly because being grateful makes others more grateful for you. And I told her how thankful I was. I'm not saying she was plotting it, waiting for me to do something good. I hope it didn't take a whole day for me to do something that would make her thankful for me. But I mowed the lawn, and she was, like, ecstatic. It doesn't affect her at all, right? Like, she doesn't, who cares? But she told me that. Now, I know that this, in a less funny thing, but with my wife, when she tells me things that she's thankful for about me or things that I do that makes her thankful to be my wife, then I every time want to do more of those things and be more of that person. But not only that, I want to tell her what it is about her that makes me grateful to be her husband. And it goes back and forth and back and forth, and it just keeps growing and growing. And you could see the intimacy in my marriage is growing more intimate as I become more grateful for my wife, and I tell her what it is about her that makes me grateful to be her husband. And then also, obviously, with my 3-year-old daughter. So it works in our relationships. Gratitude is the antidote to jealousy, and it causes us to be more intimate and close in our relationships. But then I thought about, what about our relationship with God? I think sometimes God is probably looking at us often and saying, man, what? You're always thinking about what you don't have. You're always thinking about what you wish you could get, and then you'd be okay. Then you'd be satisfied. Then life would be better. But if you would just be thankful for what you do have right now, you would experience a joy that is incomparable. And no matter what happens, you would still have that joy, because being grateful makes others more grateful for you. And I truly believe that when we are grateful for what God has given us, we will see not only our relationship with the people around us grow, but ultimately our relationship with God will deepen and grow more intimate every day, because being grateful makes others more grateful for you. And here's my challenge for you guys this week, even if it's just about a car or a lawn or somebody else's paycheck, every time you start to feel just a little bit of jealousy, to remind yourself that gratitude is a cycle, that being grateful makes others more grateful for you, and then say out loud the things that you're grateful for. And if you're around the people that you love and that you're in relationship with, actually tell them. Be very specific. Say, I'm very thankful that you are like this. I'm very grateful to have you in my life because of this. And then watch what God does, because it's incredible. And being grateful makes others more grateful for you. Thanks, guys.